Have you ever wondered what public policy really means and how it shapes the world around you? Welcome to Primus Cut,
a series where we cut through the clutter
to unpack policies transforming the way we live,
work and govern.
Each episode, we bring you insights from our in-house experts and thought leaders to understand
what's changing, why it matters,
and what it means for you.
Let's begin.
Welcome to Primus Cut. Today we have with us Aarti, co-founder and managing director at Primus Partners.
Aarti brings nearly 2 decades of experience leading and delivering major consulting projects across sectors of housing, urban development, and IT. She has also been at the forefront of delivering flagship projects which enable technology-based transformation in public service delivery. Welcome to Primus Cut, Aarti. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
How has it been in Delhi for you so far?
I mean, it's been 2 days since I've been in Delhi. Yeah, I think it's going really well.
So, Aarti, we sort of wanted to start your journey in consulting. Prior to joining Primus, you've worked in various consulting firms before, and you've also led and delivered major public mandates like PMAY. I remember when we spoke to Nilay about, the idea of Primus, he said that one thing that all the MDs bonded on was the fact that all of you had an innate understanding of how the public sector works. Yeah. From your perspective, when we talk about your sector, what was that nudge about Primus that really, made you say that I want to be part of this project?
So, Sakshi, I'm really glad you asked this question. I think over the past 6-7 years of Primus, I've been asked this question again and again. What I really like, the tone of the question has changed. So initially it was, why do you want to leave consulting and join Primus? Why? And now it's the tone maybe has little bit of admiration, but at least the tone has changed. So I really like that part about this question. The answer, as Nilay has said, is not changed. The answer is still the same. So all of us, we founded Primus Partners with the objective of doing quality consulting. All of us inherently, having worked with government for so many years across the country, we understood the challenges. We thought we could do a very good job delivering. And primarily, we wanted to change the way consulting in India works, at least from our experience in the previous companies. As you go senior, you get more busy with the administrative work rather than the consulting work. I think all of us, we enjoy consulting work even now compared to the administrative work. And ideally, consulting is more about experience, right? So that is the change which we wanted to bring. And also, why can't an Indian firm be there, right? Indian consulting is a very difficult industry to crack in, right? In consulting, even in India, it's the international firms which are believed to deliver quality consulting, not the Indian firms. So we wanted to break that. So we wanted to show the world. I mean, the journey is still ongoing. We are very far away. But that's the ambition. We want to show the world that, yes, Indian firms can do quality consulting.
No, completely agreed. I think I still remember when we spoke to Nilay, one thing that really, he told us that Primus never started with the idea that we'll do policy consulting. Yeah. It was always that we will deliver on public sector mandates. And now to see that we have grown into solutions and policy and transaction realization is just...
And trust me, when we started, we never ever imagined that we'll venture into solutions, development. We never even thought we'll enter into GCC, international. That was never even in our vision, never. But yeah.
So Aarti, you've also previously held the position of CHRO at Primus, and you've consistently pushed for women's leadership across sectors. So when you were building Primus internally, what did you really feel that needed to be in place, and where do you think Primus got it right in terms of gender or otherwise?
So one thing I'm really proud of in Primus is the women participation. So in all consulting companies, even now, I mean, women participation only 15 to 20%. Even 20%, a large part of it comes from the support staff. In Primus, it's completely different. All of you are aware, 40% is women, and we are very proud of it. While the objective is 50%, but yeah, I think we will reach there. We are very positive about that. At Primus, we wanted to build an inclusive culture, not just about women, right? Gender is one. See, again, true consulting can only happen if different minds put their brain on a problem, right? If we get different perspectives on the same problem, only then we can come with a good solution, especially for a country like India, which is so diverse. So reflecting the true India, we wanted a culture which is more inclusive by gender, inclusive by education background, inclusive by age. And I think that is what we have tried to build in. We have been, I don't know, I believe we have been successful, but again, it's always an ongoing journey. So you can't say.
Having the Gen Z representative on the board, I think that is also like a policy which I don't think I have seen in any other firm.
Yeah.
Which Primus
is
has
quite
done
an
so
original
many.
idea. You don't really see it in many consulting firms. in
Yeah.
India.
And again, that's credit to Nilay. We should give him credit where it is due.
But Aarti, I just wanted to, take what you said about the fact that consulting is really when you put a diverse set of minds to a project together. And we've also recently released Chetna, which is our annual report. And one thing that I think both me and Raghav found extremely interesting about Chetna is the fact that when we assess the firm's annual growth, we don't assess it through numbers. We assess it through the value that we have given to the ecosystem and the value we have gained from the ecosystem. So what we wanted to understand from you was, how did this thought A develop and how have you seen it change over the, course of time in Primus?
So I think actually this has been the DNA of Primus from day one. So I don't know whether you guys remember, our first motto was idea realization. So see, traditional metrics are important. In an annual report, obviously, even as a company, the business metrics will be important. Revenue, profitable, unless we have those metrics, obviously we can't grow, we can't sustain. But will those metrics which will be the ones which will motivate us? And when I say motivate us, I'm talking about each individual. So for all of us, we need a higher purpose which will motivate us to do good work, right? Even in our personal life, even in our professional life. So at Primus, I think all of us from day one, we have always believed in the higher purpose. What value we can create, which will motivate us to do better, to maybe give in our best. So I think that has always been idea, and that's where all our business lines also, it's idea realization, it's policy realization, it's impact realization. So yeah.
Right. So Aarti, we also wanted to speak to you a little bit about your personal journey. So your academic journey started from computers, then you moved into management at IIM, and now you built a career in urban development. So this obviously isn't the most obvious trajectory in paper. So was there a particular phase or a specific experience that nudged you in the direction and then made you stay in this sector?
So see, when I started, okay, so as you said, I did my computer science engineering, but very soon I realized I don't have a computer science engineering mindset. So I need to enter into maybe say a business, a more generic role. And I'm so sorry to all the people pursuing MBA out there.
A lot more engineers would be very happy that you said this.
So that's when I did my MBA. As any consultant, in the initial days, it was very, I worked with many projects, different fields, different sectors. I had not decided where to specialize in. I was tending more towards social sector, women and child, minorities, tribal, so on and so forth. But I think I was very lucky at that point. Even if you look at the Indian urban space, right? Over the past 10 years, it has gone a very drastic transformation with RERAs, with PMAY, large-scale affordable housing, so on and so forth. I think I was very lucky to be part of a very good set of officers then. So in Maharashtra, where I come from, the officers who were leading this transformation initiatives, it was Mr. Sanjay Kumar, Mr. Gautam Chatterjee, Mr. Rajan Bandelkar. So all of them, they're like, why? And I think they were like, this is the time to be in urban space right now. And I think you should be part of this space right now. And I think, that is how my journey in urban and real estate happened. And just to add to the previous point which you mentioned, right, gender. So I think even men have a very, very large part to play in promoting gender diversity. In my case, it was all the men in my sphere who pulled me up, who pushed me that, no, you have to do it. So yeah.
But shifting to the urban development sector, I'm sure there must be like some difficulty in, shifting from say like a management background to really understanding the urban sector, because from our perspective, like when we think about it from a policy lens, urban sector is, I think, one such sector which is so fragmented across tiers of governance. So you have land, which is with state, you have urban planning, which is at municipal. So when you sort of, entered the field and, like working on PMAY, did you have any such experiences wherein you were like, oh, this is a way bigger problem than, it seemed like?
So see, even now, while I am told as someone who knows a lot about urban sector, but trust me, I still don't know a lot. There's much which I need to learn.
We are all echoing your thought here.
and trust me, starting there, like, why do people reach out to me as consultant? I don't know anything. But yeah, I think it's a journey. I don't think I'm there yet. There's much more for me to learn. And yeah, like any sector, right? So when I started off, there were many things which I needed to learn. But I think with time you learn. As long as you have the passion, as long as you put in the hard work, I think you'll learn. I think also for me what helped was many legislations came. For example, RERA. It was a new thing. No one knew about RERA. So I mean, maybe they were on the same level page as me. So maybe that helped. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Aarti, like you said, over the past 10 years, the urban sector has evolved so much. And one thing that we really wanted to understand from you is in the recent budget, the finance minister did announce city economic regions, which is essentially to look at development in a more integrated sense. Now, we have seen models like this before, the Delhi NCR region, MMRDA, these are all examples of this. But from your perspective, does it make a lot of change in, say, policy mindset or framework when you start thinking about like a region, like a larger integrated framework?
So see, I strongly believe that this announcement of Honorable Prime Minister regarding this Honorable Finance Minister of the CER is going to be transformational. I'm an ever optimistic. I always look at the positive sides. See, examples which you gave, NCR, MMRD, right? I don't think those are the good examples of CER. NCR, for example, I understand it's one economic region, but as a governance, it's not one region, right? We have 3 different bodies, 3 state governments, and that is precisely what CER wants to overcome. So CER, I mean, government has very soon realized, I think, okay, before coming to this, there are 2 main shifts which government has realized. Till I think 10 years ago, all of us in India, all policies were around India lives in villages. We need to focus on, rural development, which we still do. But very soon we have realized over the past decade that yes, while India still lives in villages, but the economic development, cities are the growth hubs. I mean, the exact terms which we use, right? And that's where the focus came towards urban development and economic growth, which the urban development drives. In our journey of urban development, we realized we can't only focus on the administrative boundaries of the cities. For example, Delhi, right? And that's where right now the urban governance is very fragmented, limited to the boundaries. Now we need to look even at urban development from a region perspective, because that's how the urban cities grow. In an urban region, I don't know whether I'm able to explain it well or not, but in an urban region, there will be multiple municipal councils, there may be peripheral towns, peripheral villages. So all of that has to be one single rule book for all of it. And that is what CER wants to transform. And I am a big advocate of it. I really want it to be successful. And I hope I am part of this transformation.
No, completely. So what I also wanted to understand is if Delhi NCR and MMRDA, like you said, if they are not good examples, like could you like tell us what exactly?
In India right now, I can't think of an example. I mean, see, they are like MMRDA. They have come up with an MMRDA Development Authority. It doesn't look at only one area, multiple areas around the entire MMRDA, but still not the authority looking after the entire MMR region. So maybe some kind of MMRDA may somewhere fit into the role, but that's not the exact ambition. Maybe some part, NENA, SIDCO, some part, but I think this thing would be much bigger than all of these small examples.
So, Aarti, building on your last point, so Primus had recently also put out a thought leadership piece on building a new generation of cities, where we had identified 85 emerging urban centers as potential growth nodes. So, as even the government has said, we need to move the focus beyond tier 1 cities. So, from your perspective, what is stopping our transition from that sense in the policy sense, from tier 1 cities to tier 2, tier 3 cities?
So if you look at urbanization in India, right, we are urbanizing at a very slow pace. If you look at urban population in China, it's 62%. If you look at urban population in US, it's around 90%. Any other country, developing country, the urbanization population is much more compared to India. And India, as per the last census, it was around 34-35%. Urbanization needs to happen at a faster pace in India. To your question, what is stopping us? Again, there's no one answer, there are multiple answers, but primary urban centers, they attract migratory population, basically from better livelihood opportunities, right? Unfortunately, in India, there are just 5, 6, 7 metro cities, if I can say. So it's the Delhi, it's the Mumbai, it's the Hyderabad, it's the Pune, it's the Chennai. So it's hardly these 7 cities which are attracting all the population. And as a result, all of us can attest to the fact that these cities are getting overpopulated, overdense, they are crumbling.
You have issues with traffic in almost all metro cities in India now.
And basics, traffic, water, power, basic.
So finding major localities in Delhi having water shortage issues.
Yeah. And so we have only these 7 metro cities, even they are crumbling under the burden. So I think India now, we really need to develop the tier 2, tier 3 cities. We really need to develop so that they can somewhere take away the congestion and they themselves can develop. For example, if you look at million plus population cities, right? In India, I think we have around 42 plus. But if you look at same China, which has a similar population of India, I think it's more than 110, 115 plus. So yeah, so we do need to develop more tier 2, tier 3 cities. And what will pull people there is primarily, yes, first industry, first is economy, right? That's what the main motivator is, as in better livelihood opportunities. And then of course the quality of life, the basics, right? Which is the power, water, infrastructure. So yeah, it's combination of many things. And that's what the government through CR wants to do, and many more initiatives actually.
But yeah, I think, Aarti, one thing that you said was very interesting was we have these cities, centers like Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, who have been facing a lot more, infrastructure crunch because of the migrating population coming here, because these are the centers where you go to work. One thing, and this is also something that you have led, is technology-based transformation. Within the infrastructure sector, technology is playing a more and more important role. With Amrut 2.0, for instance, we are trying to digitize all of our urban plans on GIS so that we can predict for the upcoming 20, 30 years what is happening. Now with AI also entering the scene, I'm sure there are many more such changes coming. So from your own personal experience, how do you see, technology really transforming how we think about city infrastructure, how we think about planning?
So technology is now an integral part of every industry, and likewise even real estate industry. While digital technology, yes, which you mentioned, I'll come to it, even construction technology is picked up, it's transforming, right? So even over there, we are seeing changes. Buildings which maybe used to take 5 years, 6 years to build, now can easily happen in 1.5 years, 2 years, in fact, even less if we adopt the modern technologies. Coming to digital technologies, yes, I think every aspect of real estate and urban is changing. From planning, as in, now initially it was all hard copy plans, now we have 3D plans. 3D plans which can better suggest to us what the problems are, so on. The entire cities, many of the small townships which are coming, they are on 3D, BIM, which is BIM, right? Yeah, absolutely. So all of that is happening. Even from customer point of view, home buyer point of view, right? So initially, I'm sure all of us who want to buy, who want to rent, I think digital is the first place to go to, right? Virtual tours, digital. I think, and even the entire process has become so digital. So yes, technology is transforming, but I still think the pace is slow. I think at least in the real estate urban sector, the pace needs to be much more, but yeah.
But so if you had to intervene in sort of like one process, where would you really use technology?
So I think multiple processes, not just one process. So from construction point of view, I think the biggest challenge in the industry right now is delayed building approvals. In India, it takes around 6 months to 12 months, where we can very easily adopt technology which Dubai government has adopted, but Singapore has adopted, Australia has adopted, and curtail this to just 2 to 3 months. It's very doable. So I think that is one thing which I really would want. And also on the urban part. So in urban, we have many good pilots, right? Now, how do we scale it up so that the entire city is benefited? I think that is what I'll be really keen to see in the future.
So, Aarti, you've also consistently spoken about how women's participation in construction and real estate and related sectors, they continue to lag. And there's also a need for an increasing focus on designing cities that are better for women. So, do you think having women in decision-making roles will change how these cities are imagined and built? And where do you think these differences will show up, if there are?
100%. 100%. So see, in real estate sectors, unfortunately, the sectors where I am in, the women participation is very low. So even in real estate sector, right, we hardly have women participation. So women participation is maximum with the lowest rungs, whereas, helpers who carry the weights, that's where we have maximum women, which is very sad because they're lowest paid jobs, daily wage laborers. But if you go a little bit above, which is semi-skilled, plumbers, carpenters, masonries, we hardly have women participation. That's male dominated. You go even more about supervisors, managers, it's less. You go even more about management, it's less, right? As in the board, promoters, the management, it's less. So I think that's really sad. Some things I'm seeing changing because of this whole change in the policy framework. Now there's more professionalism in the sector, right? 15 years ago, 20 years ago, only those people with muscle power used to enter the real estate sector. But now we have professional people entering into the real estate sector. So now we have professional second generation who are now transforming real estate companies, making it more professional, and we are seeing a woman participation. It's still low, but that shift is now visible, right? We still need interventions for the middle rung, which is plumber. Why can't we have a woman plumber? Why do we need only male plumbers? Why can't we have a woman carpenter? I mean, even physically, I can't think of a single reason why a woman can't be a plumber, why a woman can't be a carpenter, why a woman can't be any of these welders, electrician. And I don't know why women are not. So yeah, I think real estate sector needs transformed. To your question on city design, right? I mean, I'm really happy in MC Mumbai, we have first woman mayor, we have first municipal commissioner, so I really have high expectations. See, what women can change in city design? I think in India, one of the problems for women, which is applicable, why women participation is low, is we have a very bad care economy or care ecosystem around us, right? In Mumbai, I am fortunately living in a joint family. I have a very good support system. But many women who live in nuclear families, right? Even if they are ambitious, they can't pursue their careers because at some point of the time, either kids, either your parents, you know, some
responsibilities to tend to, yeah.
Some responsibilities do tend to catch up, and then you have to make a choice, right? So when we design cities, can we design cities keeping in mind that, I mean, women would need this? Can we have better care ecosystem? So these are the things maybe which a woman only would understand. I don't know. I mean, that even the new generation men do. I mean, let's not take that away from them. But I think a woman would understand that.
No, I completely agree.
That's fair.
So that is why I think it's very important that we have women. I think, and I see that changing. I think I'm very hopeful again this will change. So yeah.
Aarti, you had just mentioned that why can't women also be plumbers? Why can't they play the middle role that male dominated? So do you think on a societal level there's also a need to, so sort of like when you hear about a plumber, even at a societal level, people think that it's mainly a male dominated area, it's for a
There's
man
a
to do the
social
job.
stigma attached
So
to it.
do you think there is something that the government or maybe people in our generation have to do to maybe get rid of this stigma or make it more comfortable for women to
Accessible.
actually go into these roles?
I'm sure all of you do deliveries, right? Amazon deliveries. Have you seen women delivery? Have
Very
women deliver?
rarely,
Very
very
rarely.
rarely.
So I was very happy. So I think till 1 year ago, 2 years ago, I couldn't even imagine a woman delivering. Not because I didn't think women can, but it was always male. So it didn't come to my mind. In the past 6 months in Bombay at least, I'm seeing women delivery. So they are the ones who are doing Amazon deliveries. And I'm really happy to see that. Really, really happy to see that. Why is that happening again? I think it's the same. I think at least in bigger cities, I don't think there's stigma around why women can't work. I think it's that choice.
Feels like Delhi, it's more of a safety issue, I would say.
Safety issue.
safety
Yeah,
issue.
safety issue. Yeah.
Especially for Bombay, I think you'd see more women participating because it
Yeah.
has less of a safety issue than Delhi does. Delhi is infamous, unfortunately.
I think in Bombay, if the safety question doesn't even come in a woman's mind, which I completely. So if a woman of Bombay, you talk about safety, that thing even doesn't come to my mind, which is very sad.
And that's actually a very
Good thing.
very good thing, but that comes as a shock to people from Delhi. When I had shifted to Bombay and I had done my undergrad there, I'd met people and I was completely in shock that women were completely comfortable with taking cabs alone, traveling alone. And in Delhi, you'd never see this sort of a thing, and this is quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I was from Hyderabad before I shifted to Bombay. So anytime I'm after 8 o'clock, if I don't reach home, I used to get called from my father, from my mother. Where are you? Whom are you with? I hope there's someone who's dropping you home. I don't know if it's the same in Delhi right now. So when I shifted to Bombay and then I was out late working and I didn't receive a call from my husband, I was like, are you not worried about me? Don't you love me enough? Don't you care? He's like, but why will I call you? I'm late. I'm outside alone. So I'm like, dude.
No, but Bombay it's very safe.
So I'm transformed rather than being
And
transformed.
interestingly, the other day we were having a conversation on exactly this, on women's participation in supposedly say gig economy. And we were talking about the fact that somehow we don't see as many women as Zomato or Swiggy delivery riders. But at the same time, the whole urban company, urban club sector, wherein, you know, these people come to your house for cleaning or for other services, that functions exactly the same way Zomato or Swiggy does.
True, very true. Oh, that's a good perspective, which I didn't think of actually.
It's like probably this is, you know,
So the safety issue which we're talking about, right? But it's still there. I'm not going to deny that. In places like Delhi, safety is a big concern, and especially late night. But yeah, when we can do stuff, the other stuff, right, in the urban club services, then why not even delivery? Why not even, and also from plumbing I don't think safety is an issue from plumbing, from electrician.
It's more, I think there's not enough women participation, so there's not enough things motivating women to also participate. You see all skilling centers that government is running, they're all male dominated for these sectors as well.
At least in this fields, we don't have many women undergoing training in this fields, and then they'll become experienced, and they'll become senior. So that pipeline itself is faulty. We're not seeing women participation over there.
Probably that is something that we need to do. Aarti, you've worked quite extensively with state governments and, on affordable housing mandates with the RERA Act. And you've said that women will increasingly become part of this ecosystem. What we wanted to understand from you is, what, from a policymaker's lens, what needs to be done more to increase this participation?
So in terms of participation housing, right, two types of participation. One is the sector, right? How can they be more part of real estate construction sector? I think you already discussed at length about it. Second, what I'd also want is women owning more houses. So I think there are statistics which says that in India only, I think 15% of the property is owned by women, around 15%. Rest is all male. Male, they are the ones who own the property, houses, so on and so forth. See, financial stability matters. Yes, it does. Let what may, right? To men, women, both of them financial stability matters. If you have the financial security, maybe you can take more risks, you can take more stronger decisions, so on and so forth. So even that, yes, I would want women participation to increase, but even women's security, women's ownership of houses, affordable houses. And I think government is doing a fabulous job of it. In Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the first priority is given to women housing, as in women who own the housing. The housing will first go into the woman's name rather than the men's name. And even government is giving many benefits and incentives for women. So in case you buy a house on women's name, then you get benefit with respect to stamp duty, ownership, so on and so forth. So government is pushing, so it's two things they are pushing, which I really like. One is, of course, women and women ownership of housing, which will have a huge impact everywhere, not just real estate and ownership, but every field in India.
I think I wasn't aware of the fact that under PMAY, women beneficiaries are given the...
And I'm not having the statistics, I think around 70% of the houses in PMAY are owned by women. It's 50, 60, 70, but very large percent.
No, I think it's completely necessary because, like you said, women ownership in housing is so less in India. And it really matters from a women's security perspective as well. Owning a house, for instance. Yeah.
So, Aarti, we've had quite the extensive conversation. Just to move towards the close. So, when you look at your sector today with the policy shifts and market trends, where do you see the next big opportunity in real estate emerging, especially in India?
Oh, I think many areas.
You have a long laundry list.
Yeah. So I think first would be CRs, yes, that's the new thing, and I really want to push that. Second is strengthening of municipal finances. So every city right now, every city acts like a sub-department of government, right? Rather than an independent governing body of that region, right? It's dependent on grants of government for everything which they do. But that now again is changing with our realization of urban importance. Now government is pushing for financial independence of cities. So while the bigger corporations like maybe say Gurgaon or MCGM or Pune, they are financially independent. They are not dependent so much on government grants. But apart from that, all the others are. So now government is pushing them for their own sources of revenue, for doing municipal bonds. So I think even that is a big platform next.
Yeah, no, completely agreed. But Aarti, I think this brings us to the closing part of our podcast. And Nilay has termed us as the coveted Gen Zs of the office. So in a very Gen Z fashion, we have a rapid fire for you. So the first question is, which is your favorite Indian city and why?
So again, many. Hyderabad, yes, because of the nostalgic memories. And then maybe Chandigarh, because of the planning.
Yeah. I've always heard very good things about Chandigarh. Yeah. There are very few people who have bad things to say about Chandigarh.
So I think the Chandigarh is a very good example of a well-planned city in India. Yeah, so I think these two cities. Actually, there are many more. I love Banaras again for the great memories which we have. Planning is not so good, but yeah, I think the memories. They say Banaras is the oldest city. So they say Banaras resides on the Trishul of Shivji. So it's indestructible. So I really like that story behind it.
Okay, how do you wind down after, you've had a really hectic work day?
So with my son. I think just 15 minutes with my son and I just forget everything about the work day.
Okay. Your favorite application on phone? WhatsApp, Outlook, Teams, around.
Anything work related?
Yeah, it's not
WhatsApp and Outlook and Teams will never be my favorite. Never.
We got this answer.
Maybe your most
even WhatsApp, no. No, I think my most favorite would be Etsy. It's I don't know whether you've heard of it. You've heard of it? Oh, I thought it's the old generation. So yeah, Etsy is my most favorite and most used is WhatsApp, Insta. But these are things which I want to as in, leave.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think everybody does. Everybody talks about.
So definitely
getting
not
off
my-
But I think
Instagram.
Etsy is the first we've
Yeah.
heard. Etsy is
Yeah.
a very fun app.
Yeah.
And lastly, if you weren't a consulting, what would you?
Doctor. I still want to be a doctor. I think it's the noblest profession, doctor. So yeah, that's why I want to be a doctor. Even now, if there's some way through which I can, I,
think
would
you
love
can
to be.
still do it.
I don't know.
5-10 years of studying, maybe.
That's okay. I don't know. I'd still, yeah.
Oh, wow, I really wasn't expecting that. But Aarti, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Same here.